Maybe Lauren, I think, is there one?
Good Lauren will be here today.
Won't, what?
Lauren will be here today.
Won't be here. Okay, well then I don't know who that other notion could be.
But they can ask them to identify themselves.
Or unless it's on. I don't know.
Could be. You can see the name there. Here for a comment or application. Could be.
Good morning. We are live streaming, and so I'll hand it off to our chair, Director Harper.
Wonderful. Okay. Good morning, everybody, board, staff, and everyone. Thank you for being here and attending today's meeting. The time being 9:01, I will call this Board of Directors meeting of the Coos County Area Transit District to order. Thank you. Melissa, will you please call the roll of the Board of Directors?
Director Thompson,
Here.
Director Vesey,
Here.
Director Johnson,
Here.
Director Nelson,
Here.
Director Clausen,
Here.
Director Taylor,
Here.
Director Dovenspike.
Here.
Chair Thompson, all are present.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Board, moving to item 3, just changes to our agenda. I believe we have one change to our agenda today, which is striking item 9A, our bus wash item, off of our agenda and moving that to a later time. Are there any other changes to the agenda besides that one? Hearing nothing further, our agenda will stand with that one addition, or with that one subtraction. There we go. Board, that moves us to item 4, which is public comment on agenda items. This public comment section is meant for members of the public to be recognized to speak to items on today's agenda that are up for the board's consideration in this meeting. And as usual, there is an open public comment period at the end of the meeting for general/broad comments by members of the public, and then preceded by any board members who wish to be recognized for closing comments. As a reminder, public comment in the meeting is a one-way communication where the public shares input on the record without expecting a dialogue or direct response, with a time limit not to exceed 3 minutes unless otherwise directed by the presiding officer. Thank you so much. And do we have anybody here for a public comment on an agenda item?
Yes. Mary Rowe.
Go right ahead.
So I just want to let you know that I tried to get information regarding the agenda, and I called last week, but when I called, it wasn't available yet. And when I called this morning, I wanted to find out when you were going to be asking people questions about who were applying to be on the advisory board, as well as voting on that, to have some idea where it was going to be on the agenda, just to at least find out about that one agenda item. And I was told that the link did not make that possible for the people in the office to be able to see the agenda. So I just want to let you know that. And I'm still curious where it is on the agenda, since I'm disabled, so that I can be, completely prepared when that agenda item comes up.
Yes, I can answer that question really quickly, Mary. Thank you. We are in public comment right now. Our next agenda item is our consent agenda, and then the item immediately preceding that, so item 6, will be our appointments to the Coos Curry Advisory Committee.
Thank you.
So, item after this one. Thank you. Is there anybody else here for a public comment on an agenda item? Seeing and hearing nothing further, I will close the public comment section. Board, moving to item 5, our consent agenda has our board meeting minutes from July 13th and July 30th, our preliminary financial and balance sheet for June 2026, and our June ridership report. Board, at this time, I'd entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
So move.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further comments or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of accepting the consent agenda as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The consent agenda is adopted. Thank you. Board, that now moves us to our next agenda item, item 6, appointments to the Coos Curry Advisory Committee. I will read our staff background for this and then go through our supporting documents. All right, background. The Board of Directors appoints individuals to serve on the advisory committee to advise on all matters regarding the operations of the Coos County Public Transportation System. The advisory committee will advise and assist the CCATD Board of Directors in carrying out the statewide Transportation Improvement Fund (STIF) by prioritizing, projects to be funded by STIF monies and set forth under OAR Chapter 732. And I'm not reading, or Division 40, and I'm not reading all of those sections. Throw on there. Going through, or Melissa, do you want to go through the supporting document with the demographic requirements?
Certainly. So our requirements per the bylaws is that the committee size is 5 to 8 members. The geographic representation is 3 members from Curry and 5 members from Coos. That at least 1 member represents low income, at least 1 member represents age 65 or older, at least 1 member represents people with disabilities, and at least 1 member represents public transportation service providers or nonprofit which provides public transit. Currently, the status of the advisory committee, we have a gap of 2 to 5 seats overall on the advisory committee. We have a gap of 1 to 3 seats of Prairie residents. We have a gap of 0 to 2 seats from Coos. We do not have a gap in low income. We do not have a gap in age 65 or older. We do have a gap representation from people with disabilities, and we do not have a gap of public transportation service provider.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you for that, board. You have that document in your packet if you wish to look at it. At this time, I would like to begin calling on our candidates for their brief introductions, about 2 minutes. Name, where you're from, why you'd like to serve on the committee, why you're here today will be wonderful. I'm going to go in order of how the names are listed in the attached document. So first one I have is Loretta Gudermont. Are you here? Do we have Loretta? Wonderful. Would you like to unmute and go right ahead?
I serve on the board with Kathy, and I'm here because I want to be sure that Curry County has transportation to help the elderly and the low income, and it's a good service that we're trying to provide. We need to continue very well.
All right, thank you so much. And then we have, next up, we should have Daniel Pelopi, also representing Prairie County.
Hi.
Go right ahead. Thank you for being here.
Well, I've been here with the transit since September 1995. I've driven for almost 20 years at the dial ride, and a good 15 years I've been on the board, and right now I'm the president of the board of directors. And let's see how far we can go.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Next on my list, I have Mr. Brett Cecil. Thank you for being here. Go right ahead whenever you're ready.
Yes, thank you for having me today. I appreciate it greatly. I see my counterparts in the southern part of Curry County. I'm Brett Cecil. I live in Port Orford, which is the northern part of Curry County, and I seek appointment to this board because I do have concerns for some of my community members who happen to be in my age group, which is 65 plus. I am also disabled, and I do a lot of open community grassroots work here in Curry County. And I have a lot of contact with folks who do use the system, who have encouraged me to be on the board to give them some representation. So I seek continued representation on this newly put together advisory board, since I am probably the newest on the Curry board, but I seek to continue my seat on the advisory board. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Chair.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Board, those were our Curry, or actually, no, I take it back. Board, we received a late application from Eleanor Cook. Do we have Eleanor Cook in the audience today to give a brief introduction and comment?
Yes, I happen to be treasurer of the board. I've been on the board about 5 years. And it's a good service.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for getting that application in. Board, those are our Curry applicants. We're going to move to our who's candidates before we move into voting. We'll start off with Lauren.
Hey, Harper, we only can do 3 out of the 4.
Yes.
Okay.
5 total, yes. 3 candidates from Curry County. Moving to any other clarification? Okay, thank you. Our COOS applicants, first, we would have had Miss Lauren Morris, who is our current chair of our advisory committee, but she is gone today. Not attend, but she is seeking reappointment to her seat on the committee and currently serves as the chair and was a founding board member when CCATD was established as a non-taxing district. The next on my list is Miss Mary Rowe. Mary, if you are ready, go right ahead.
Thank you. I want to say that I fit into 3 of the categories. I'm 73, so I'm 65 and older. I have a physical disability, and I am also low income. And I have ridden several different counties' public transportation in the past 20 years, including Curry Public Transit, which I rode for many years, and I loved it. And CCAT as well. And being an MSW, which means I assume you know someone who has a master's in social work, I have also served on various boards and committees throughout the course of my life.
All right, thank you so much for being here and making that comment, Mary. Our next Coos County applicant is Mr. Peter. Let's go right ahead.
Hi, good morning. My name is Peter Altschul. I am over 65, totally blind since birth. My service dog is named Fredo. I also have a master's in social work and have used my background helping people go through significant organizations deal with major change issues. I have used public transportation in New York City and DC. I have used paratransit in Missouri and here. I will tell you that the paratransit here is infinitely better than Columbia, Missouri. And I'm here to try to make things a little better.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Peter. And lastly, last but not least, we have Ms. June Jenkins. Thank you for being here. Take it away.
Okay, well, I am June Jenkins, and I'm from California originally. And I'm definitely over 65 because I'm 81, but I refuse to accept old. So I'm here because I want to share with other people in my age group value of this service. As a customer, I'm very impressed with the kindness that I get from all the drivers. And it's affordable for people who are senior citizens. I've spent my life mostly in service as a salesperson working in high tech. So I kind of know the ups and downs, the good and the bad. But I would be more than happy to serve on the board and to be of service to share with other people how great this service is.
Where do you live?
I live in North Bend.
Okay.
On Oak.
Huh?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, thank you so much to all of our candidates.
And then again, how many positions?
Yes, so we have, my script is messed up anyway, since we received another late application. My plan, we have 5 seats that we are making appointments for today. 3 from Curry, 2 from Coos. And we have 8 total applications. My plan is to present a Curry County slate and a Coos County slate to appoint those 2 separately. Seeing as we did receive another application, I think I will be changing. I think we'll be doing it the other way. So for voting for Curry Board, Melissa, should we open it to questions before we move into voting at all, or should we go straight into voting? Or do you have any questions before we move in?
I'm ready to vote.
We're ready to
I
vote.
looked at the applications.
All right, then I think we will just move into voting. Board, we're going to start off with our Curry slate. I am going to poll the board of directors.
Harper, I have a question. I'm sorry, I
Yes.
couldn't unpause quickly enough. With the candidates from Curry County, are all of them on the existing board or not? I missed that piece.
I believe so.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Kathy, did
Thank
you?
you. Yeah, Dan, Loretta, and Eleanor are on the board of directors for the nonprofit Curry Public Transit, Inc. Mr. Cecil is not. He is a representative that is very highly recommended in the community.
There we go. Thank you for that.
Thank
Any
you.
other- Thank you. Board again, my plan, I am going to poll the board of directors and ask for your top 3 candidates for out of the Curry selection, and then we'll move to our Coos County candidates, re-poll, and then for Coos County, it'll be top 2. So I'll ask for your top 2, and then for Coos, the top 2 will win the appointment, and then for Curry, the top 3. Confusing, I know.
No.
Melissa, did I present everything how it should be?
Yeah, you presented it correctly.
Okay, wonderful.
Harper,
Then-
I'll tell you my top 3 for Curry.
Let's start then.
I'll just say their first names since I don't want to say their last name wrong. Daniel, Brett, and Loretta.
Let's go Director Taylor.
I agree with that.
1 for Brett, 1 for Dan, 1 for Loretta. Director Nelson.
I'm going with Daniel, Brett, and Eleanor.
Director Clausen.
Daniel, Brett, and Loretta.
Director Dobenstein.
Daniel, Brett, and Loretta.
The problem is we need all 4.
I know,
Director Ronson.
maybe there's an alternate.
Daniel, Brett, and Loretta.
Loretta and board, my vote will also be for Loretta, Daniel, and Brett. So receiving 5 votes is Loretta, receiving 7 votes is Daniel, receiving 7 votes is Brett. So those will be our 3 appointments for our Curry County seats. Thank you so much. Board, moving to our Coos County seats, we have 4 candidates, 2 seats. I will ask for your top 2. Vice Chair Beasley.
Lauren Morris, Peter Alshaw.
Director Taylor.
Lauren Warren, Mary Rose.
Director Nelson.
Lauren and Peter.
Director Clausen.
Lauren and Peter.
Director Dobenstein.
Lauren and Peter.
Director Johnson.
Lauren and June.
And I will also vote for Lauren and Peter. And Peter and Lauren will receive 7 votes. Peter 5, June 1, and Mary 1. And Lauren Morris and Peter will be our appointments for our COOS side of the committee. Thank you, all of our applicants, so much. I will say this is a special day for me. This is the most people I've ever seen, especially coming from the advisory committee. This is the most people I've seen in a meeting to become part of the advisory committee. I know many members of the board have done that, and it's quite refreshing, especially coming from somebody who sat alone in a board meeting to get appointed to the advisory and the budget committee. The camaraderie is amazing, and it cannot be overstated. So thank you all so much for going through that process with us, and I look forward to the stress and the unknown of all of the work you guys are going to be delving into in the next upcoming. So
And everybody can still keep coming.
please do.
Yes.
Budget 2027-28 coming right up around. Please reapply. Be here quicker than we know. So we did our board of director action. Our next steps, the advisory committee will elect its officers at our next meeting. And then for our planning timeline, beginning in September, the joint Coos-Curry committee will embark on a comprehensive review of transportation service needs across the 2-county region. This process involves evaluating current services and proposed projects and funding requests while actively considering input from the public and stakeholders. Through these efforts, the committee will develop informed recommendations for the qualified entity, which will create the STIF plan. The accumulation of their work will be the submission of the final Coos-Curry STIF plan to the Oregon Department of Transportation in January 2027 for approval, reinforcing a commitment to enhancing transportation accessibility and sustainability in the area. Wonderful. Okay. Board that moves us to item 7. Item 7, I will now ask our CEO, Melissa, to call the roll and confirm a quorum of our new advisory committee.
Thank you. And if I pronounce your last name incorrectly, please help me out. Cynthia Ramirez.
Here.
Richard Rogers.
I see you, Richard. I know you're here.
Richard, can you hear me? He's frozen. He may be having technical difficulties. Karen Dubasar.
Here.
Loretta Guterman.
Here, good on the last name, very good.
Thank you. Danielle Halioki.
Palicky, thank you.
Palicki.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Brett Cecil.
Here.
Lauren Morris is absent. Peter.
Last
Altschul.
name? Altschul, yep, here.
Oh, thank you. Chairman, we do have a quorum of the advisory committee.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Board, our next piece of business. Board, that now moves us into the old business section of our agenda. And at this time, I'll open up item 8A for its second reading. Item 8A is ordinance governing conduct on district property / transit exclusion. Background on this is to maintain public transportation services that are orderly, safe, secure, comfortable, and convenient. CCAT issued Ordinance 2-2025 outlining the rules of conduct in transit exclusion over a year ago. The ordinance intended to regulate conduct occurring on CCAT vehicles within or upon CCAT facilities and properties and in connection with CCAT's provision of public transportation services. A review of the ordinance and recommendations are hereby made by staff to clarify areas that staff or the public found confusing. Board, before us, there we go. We have ordinance 02-2026. And before we pass the discussion to our advisory committee and then back to ourselves, I would entertain a motion to approve the second reading to be by title only.
So moved.
We have a motion and a second to approve the second reading to be by title only. Are there any comments or discussion of the motion at hand? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of approving the second reading to be by title only, say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The motion is adopted and the second reading of the ordinance will be read by title only. Here it is. Ordinance 02-2026 governing conduct on district property / transit exclusion. Now, at this time, I will ask our advisory committee to hold their discussion in relevance to their recommendation. For this, like I said previously, our advisory committee chair is not here. Miss Lauren Morris is absent today, and you guys elect new officers next month. So Melissa and I have asked Ms. Karen Dubaglar, who is on our advisory committee, to facilitate that discussion. And you'll start that by opening it to or I would ask for a motion from your membership. And that should be on the agenda, and then you guys can have your discussion, have your vote, and then we'll take it.
All right, so, I'm asking for a motion, to recommend, to the board of directors to adopt the ordinance 02-2026 governing conduct on district property and transit exclusion. And, it's open for discussion. Any discussion? Hearing none. Call for a vote.
Then you need to get a motion.
You get a
first.
Oh, I need a
second.
motion. Sorry. It's not
You're
things.
So moved,
So
Brett
I'm-
Diesel.
Okay. And a second?
Second. Am I allowed to say?
Yes.
That motion.
Definitely.
Is there any closing comments?
Any comment? I'll call for the vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And it passes, and we'll pass it on.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. You guys will get great at that, I promise. It gets easier every time. Board, we now have a motion and recommendation from our advisory committee, and I would now ask the board for a motion to adopt ordinance 02-2026.
I move.
We have a motion and a second on the adoption of ordinance 02-2026. Is there any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing nothing further, I'll call for the question of the adoption of ordinance 02-2026. Will all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
Those opposed say no. The ordinance is adopted. Thank you for your patience with me on that. Moving on, item B, 8B. Annexation of Curry County into the transportation system. Do you want me to read the background for this, Melissa, or can we just keep it for the record?
You can just keep it for the record if you want.
Amazing, board. Moving to item C. Procure general management services. The general manager 5-year contract is up on October 14th, 2026. Staff recommends the board of directors with support of council conduct a request for proposal to satisfy compliance requirements. The committee to review proposals is Vice Chair BC and myself, and Advisory Committee Chair Lauren Morris. I believe that RFP was posted on Friday and the deadline is the end of the month. So we will get back to you in the September or August meeting for that. Board that now, hold on, sorry, the page flat. We're going. All right, board that now brings us to 8D, discontinuing Powers Weekly Shopper route. I will now read the background on this item, pass it to staff for any comments, and then ask for motion on the item before we delve into discussion and questions. The background on this, the board of directors, the advisory committee, and the budget committee have been grappling with the service Powers since February 2026. In an effort to maintain the Powers route, staff submitted a grant to Oregon Health Authority and solicited for a volunteer driver, both efforts have failed. Powers was not recommended nor approved in the 2026-2027 budget. Staff visited Powers on May 26th and spoke with citizens, the city, and the library. Staff recommend to discontinue the Powers Weekly Shopper effective August 31st, 2026. And I will pass it off to Melissa for any comments.
We did receive two letters from the community that was transmitted to the board of directors earlier last week. And those were the two comments we received on this issue.
And those will be attached as part of the meeting minutes. All right, now board, I would ask for a motion to I would entertain a motion to discontinue the Powers Weekly Shopper effective August 31st, 2027.
26.
26, thank you. 2 years ago.
I move to discontinue the Powers Weekly Shopper effective August 31st, 2026.
And I'll second. Board, I'll open it up for discussion.
In my opinion, we need to find funding for this route. You're never gonna get a volunteer driver. We can't afford a volunteer driver. We need to provide this service, and to me, you're now sheltering and forcing Powers people, even though we had a small amount, not access to the Bay Area. And I think that is a big mistake, and I will never vote yes in my lifetime to support Powers Weekly Shopper closure.
I second that.
Thank you.
I think that we need to have that. There was some other ideas in those letters. One of them I recall was to at least have it once a month. I don't know that we've looked at that possibility. So I think that it would be good to, we also have a committee about fundraising that I'd like to see, have some ideas that would help that. And, this needs to stay on board if at all possible, or one of the very first things to come back as soon as possible.
Other discussion.
Well, we've all looked at it and looked for ways to do it, for the interest from the Powers community. We've bent over backwards, and we're at the end of the line, and it's certainly not a win for us to do this, but you got to cut where you have to cut, and this was affecting the fewest number of people, an amazingly few people.
Anybody else? Melissa, I think the only. You have a comment? Make a comment.
Good job, Karen.
Well, I agree that sometimes decisions that are really hard. I will say that it this cut does affect probably the most low income and the most needed service, and I do not want to see it go, and I'd be happy to continue to try and find a way to keep it going, at least maybe once a month, or something like that. I know Melissa had worked hard to get the grant, and unfortunately it was not awarded, and that's all I have to say. I just wish that we had a better outcome.
Thank you for that. Looking for further discussion. Melissa, one of the only real questions I think I have is the route wasn't approved in the 2027 budget. So why, I guess one, why did it not stop on July 1? And then two, how have we been paying for it up until now? And how are we budgeting to pay for it until the end of August? And how does that wash out is my question.
Yeah, thank you. So it's really difficult to turn something off and turn something on really quickly. And so since we hadn't heard on the Oregon Health Authority grant funding, we went ahead and extended it for this brief time period. But now that we have heard from the Oregon Health Authority, it it does then necessitate that we, from a fiduciary responsibility and from an operational standpoint, in using our resources most responsibly, it is staff's recommendation to discontinue the Powers Weekly Shopper.
So that's been 5 trips since the new budget that powers this provision, so that's not.
It's
And
not
it
5
is that
trips
serving.
because we haven't had reservations. And so we didn't, when we don't have reservations, then we don't run it.
Okay, so that answers my question. I was just wondering in the vein of we just approved a budget, where's that coming out? But thank you so much. Board, I'll turn to you for any final comments or questions on this item. Seeing and hearing none. I'm going to offer a roll call vote on this item. So Director or Vice Chair Easy, how do you vote?
No, I move not to discontinue.
Director Taylor? Yeah. Director Nelson?
No.
Director Clausen?
Yes.
Director Gopenspike?
Yes.
Director Johnson? Did we lose Director Johnson? And we're confirming that we've lost Director Johnson.
It's confirmed she is not online.
Then board, I will also vote no on this item. And the item fails due to a tie. Melissa, I'm going to imagine you're going to want to bring this back up for board reconsideration at the next in a very upcoming meeting.
We will continue to have discussions.
Thank you.
So I'd like to see us
Unless there are
talk
any other
to Powers and tell them that it's still available, but you have to take advantage of our opportunity that we're giving you. And if you don't take advantage of it, the fiscal Mike Clausen, that's a good point. Unfortunately.
So, would the board consider making a motion to provisionally continue service once a month?
Mhm. I would make a motion of that, yes.
With an underline on provisional.
Yeah, it sounds like it might even be once a month with the reservation, I don't know, but you know.
Do you have a date or is that up to Melissa to decide?
Provisional, do you have a recommendation there, Melissa? Have a date?
I guess we should get a second and where we go.
Oh.
I'll second that.
So the motion is for a once a month.
Once a month to Powers run. And provisional meaning we're gonna review it in 3 months? I don't know. What do we think?
I imagine
We'll-
Melissa would
we'll
probably
review-
bring this to the next meeting.
Why don't we review in in November?
No.
Great.
So once a month, November is our motion. Comments, discussion, staff comments, Melissa.
Thank you for the alternative
I
way.
was gonna say, I don't think we've ever, in my chairmanship or my experience in the board, I don't think we've ever failed a motion. So.
No,
Correct. I've not seen it.
Further board discussion. Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Abstentions, the motion is adopted. Board, that moves us to item 10, which is
do you
our
want to ask
general.
Melissa to figure out the date and then let her take care of it?
I have full faith that she will. And that brings us to, speaking of, item 10, our general manager's report.
I love you, man.
Melissa, take it away. We've done enough to you.
Thank you. So just a few updates. I'm currently working on the Transportation and Growth Management Program grant that is due on August 21. The purpose of that grant is to get funding for our 2 county planning documents to get updated. It also includes that strategy for finance and diversifying our funding resources. Secondly, we did receive information on a microgrid installation incentive program. So what a microgrid is, so we'll have solar at our new transit center. And the microgrid is a system that actively manages our power utilization and collection. And should we move forward with this incentive program, which would cover 40% of the cost of the microgrid, it would avail Pacific Power access to some of our stored data. So if they have a spike, it kind of smooths that out. So I guess I do need, from the board's perspective, do you support me securing and moving forward with this grant application on the microgrid installation incentive program, knowing that it does give Pacific Power access to our equipment and power that is stored?
Any comments?
Do we need a motion or?
That was stored power, not data, right? I thought you
I'm
said stored
sorry?
data.
She can't hear you.
So they'll
You
use
said
our
data?
our stored power.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Not our data.
No data, just
Not our
power.
data, power,
I heard the word.
Good question.
energy.
And you're
Sorry.
asking for a motion.
Now,
Melissa?
now, you know, how is it
Yeah.
back in the discussion again?
Don't start it.
I would like a motion that you all give me permission to go after this incentive funds, because it does. If should we be successful, then Pacific Power gets access to some of our stored power.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second to support Melissa's application for this. Comments, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion is adopted. Go at it.
Thank you. I'll be going down to observe the ODOT monitoring in Curry tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. And I look forward to visiting with folks in Curry. And then we are working on a year-end reporting to ODOT that's due August 15. And then we're preparing for the audit firm visit in September. So things are busy. And that's my report.
Yeah, thank you, Melissa, for all you do. You really are busy.
Outstanding job.
Yes.
And I'm gonna work on the board. I'm ready to retire, but I'm gonna go into the music industry, and I'm gonna teach them my song that in my business life got to be an important part. You gotta know when to hold them, when to hold them.
Yeah.
Can't retire on this now.
Kenny.
I know, walk away, right?
You can't walk away. It's all right. All right. Thank you so much, Melissa. He's running. Yeah, hey, as fast as I can, right? All right, board. We're closing out. Board, that brings us to item 11, which is citizen and board comments on non-agenda items. Again, limited to 3 minutes per person. Do we have anybody here or any board members who would like to make a closing comment?
I like that we can agree to disagree on things, and we don't take it personal. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I can disagree with Mike Clausen and we could still go out to dinner, even though he's never invited me. But no, I think it's good, healthy discussion to talk and ask questions. And we've done that forever. Thank you.
Very admirable work, I will say. Final comments, anybody?
Clap, clap, clap.
Wonderful, thank you, Brett. All right, board, our next meetings, we will have our final hearing on the annexation. Sorry, I got one more little thing. Final hearing on the annexation of Curry County on August 31st, 2026, 9 a.m. And our next board of directors and joint advisory committee meeting will be on September 14th in board. I will adjourn this meeting at 9:46. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Surprise,
Much, nice meeting you.
Let's go,
Everybody.
Everybody for coming.